Welcome back. Looking up there at what I've written, you can see it's 55 cents. Say you were going to the shop and you had something that you were going to buy for 55 cents. How would you pay the money up to the 55 cents? What groupings of money would you use to help you to make that 55 cents? Let's have a look at that. You could do that quite simply by getting a 50-cent piece and a 5-cent piece. So our price tag of 55 cents can then be paid by just using a 50 and a 5. So you can see that we have combined both the coins to make our price tag amount. Pretty cool, I think. Okay, now we have 75 cents. So how are we going to make that up? We're going to buy something for 75 cents. And a price tag there. How are we going to do it? What is the quickest, the simplest, and the easy way to do it? Let's look at that. What we do is we bring a 20 in if we want to make it nice and simple. We bring this in and this in. And here we have 75 cents. We can then go and pay for it using the exact amount. We don't have to get any change at all. It's spot on. So again, we go back. Oops, sorry. If we look over here, you have 55 cents here. Now we can use these coins here that we've already used for the 55 cents to make up our 75 cents. There it is. Okay, sometimes it's not that simple. Other things happen. It's not an amount that we are able to pay directly. What do we do? How do we do it? Let's have a look at that next. Now, let's put this into practice. We'll bring out a few tags with some prices on and see if we can make up the prices. Get ready. Here we go. Okay, so here we have a price tag for 80 cents. How are we going to do that? How are we going to make 80 cents up? How are we going to pay for this item that we want to buy that costs us 80 cents? Okay, let's do it. So we take 50 cents. There it is there. We take 20 cents. We take 10 cents. As you can see, there's our 80 cents. Can we do it another way? Yes, we can. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so there's another way to do it. Here we go. We can do 20, 40, 60, 80. This is 80 cents. So we've bought the item for 80 cents, and there it is shown on the price tag. Okay, now we've got $1.35 on the price tag. How are we going to make that up? Well, the quickest and easiest way to do that is to do this. Check it out. Here we go. $1. And then we have to make up the 35 cents because we have the point there. See the point? We have to do the 35 cents. Here we go. So I'm going to bring down 20 cents, 10 cents, and 5 cents. Let's give it that 20. Put those over there. So that's probably the easiest and the quickest way. There are other ways that you can investigate to make up $1.35. But that's the quickest and the easiest way to make it up right there, right then, without having to get too many coins. It's the least amount of coins that you can use to make up $1.35. Okay, let's do one more price tag before we go. This time we'll make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more difficult. So we'll be watching very carefully because I'll show you what to do. Rightio then. We have a price tag of $3.55, which is rather a large amount of money. So how are we going to pay for this? Exactly, clearly, easily. Alright, so up here we've got all these different coins. We don't need them all, but they're all here anyway. We need 3 of these to start off with. So they're $1 coins, so we're going to bring them down here. And there's our $3. Okay, so that's the $3. We've paid the $3 part. Now we need to go for the 55 cents, which is just there. Alright, how do we do that? Okay, easy. Let's get this. Let's get this. So, there it is. At our disposal, we have $3.55. There it is right there. We have 3 $1 coins, a 50 cent, and a 5 cent. Now, there's another way we can do this that really relies on less coins. So let's try that one. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now we can dispose of these 2 coins. We don't need them anymore. So let's put them over here, out of the way. We don't need them. Let's bring in this thing here. Okay, this is a $2 coin. So now we have $2 and $1, which makes up $3. And we have the 55 cents. There it is, there and there. So with 4 coins, we've managed to pay our price tag of $3.55. So it's not too hard. You just have to think about it and use the appropriate coins. Okay, well, that's the end of the lesson for now. I want you to go away and think about it and think of different ways that you can use money to pay for things in shops. Next lesson, we're going to look at how to do that, how to solve our problems using money. How can we solve our problems? We're going to pay for things. How can we solve our problems? Bye for now.